Good evening. Welcome to the 830th meeting, Tuesday, July 21st, 2020. If you wish to be heard at the meeting, please sign the speaker list provided on the City of Laurel's website or contact the staff. The chairman reserves the right to limit the amount of time each speaker has for each agenda item. The qualifications of the members of the commission, the staff of the commission, and any consultants used are on file with the city and are hereby part of each and every application heard today. The guidelines and procedures adopted by the commission are also made a part of each and every application. Each application heard today is considered on its own merits and is not to be considered as establishing precedents for any other application. I'd like to take a moment and thank the staff, my fellow commissioners, the elected officials for the City of Laurel, members of the public for your patience and cooperations during this period of virtual meetings. I hope everybody is staying healthy and safe, and I, for one, look forward to the time when social distancing is not required and we can get back to in-person meetings. I would like to go over a few reminders. First, identify yourself when speaking each time. This is imperative for the record. When done speaking, please use the mute button on your computer or phone. This will help eliminate background noise. Second, if we experience a technical problem during the meeting will be suspended until the issues are resolved. If they're unable to be resolved in a timely manner, the meeting shall be postponed. Once the issues are corrected, I will call for another roll and then we will resume the meeting. Third, after staff presents applicant's report, I will ask commissioners for follow-up questions and then request a motion. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Mr. Cocoon?
Here.
Councilmember Les?
Here.
Ms. McSteeny?
Here.
Ms. Lubinecki?
Here.
Ms. Frazier?
Here.
Ms. Rambo? Mr. Davis?
Here.
You have a quorum.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. I would like to open the discussion for the meetings from the regular HDC meeting held on June 16th, 2020. Are there any corrections, comments? Seeing that there's no correction comment, can I entertain a motion to approve the minutes?
This is Margie McSteeny. I move we approve as presented.
Do I have a second?
This is Marlene Frazier. I second the motion.
Okay, motion, Ms. McSteeny, and second, Ms. Frazier, to approve the minutes.
Ms. McSteeny?
Yes.
Ms. Frazier?
Yes.
Councilmember Les?
Yes.
Ms. Lubinecki?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
I believe you would abstain. Were you at the last meeting?
Absolutely. I'm sorry. I was not at the last meeting, so I should, yes, I absolutely abstain.
Okay, noted. Mr. Cocoon?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, so the item is HDC 078-2020 for 20 Post Office Avenue, submitted by Maria Thomas. Do we have a staff report?
Good evening, Chair, HDC members. This is Mark Laurel.
You're breaking up.
I'm sorry, let me interrupt you. We cannot understand what you're saying.
Also,
Good evening. This is Director Pulley. There are a few members a part of the meeting that are not muted. If you are not speaking or presenting, please press mute. Thank you.
Can everyone hear me?
That's better, thank you.
Yes.
Okay, I start again. Good evening, Mr. Chair and fellow HDC members. My name is Monte Burrows, Planner 2. Since the last meeting, applicant has made recommended changes and several changes to the proposal. One of the changes requested was a permeable driveway surface. The first meeting, the applicant had a concrete driveway, and it was also recommended to do a strip driveway. But since the time the applicant has changed and staff recommended that she do blacktop and the applicant agreed. So the applicant is requesting to install a blacktop driveway in front of the property to replace existing driveway. The proposed driveway will be 18 feet by 28 feet or 504 square feet. The blacktop driveway pad will lead to the proposed permanent carport, and the carport will have concrete under the carport. Also, there was a concern by one of the HDC members about the driveway starting at the side of the property line. The applicant will install grass in between at least 3 feet in between the side property line and also the driveway. The applicant is also requesting HDC permission to install a permanent carport with a garage door. The carport will be located on the left side of the property per the attached picture. The carport will be 16 feet by 20 feet or 320 square feet. It will have a height of 14 feet. Another recommendation by the HDC was the garage doors. The garage doors will measure 12 feet by 7 feet. The garage door color will be mahogany with windows at the top per the attached picture. The garage doors will open into the carport. The roof of the carport will match that of the existing house. The configuration of the lot with the driveway and the carport are within the limitations mandated by the zoning ordinance. In addition, the applicant is also seeking HDC approval to install a white vinyl fence with a gate. The fence will be 6 feet high along the left side and the rear of the property per the plat plan. The gate will be attached to the side of the house and the carport per the plat plan. The permanent carport and fence will be 25 feet from the front property line. Staff recommends that HDC approve with the following conditions. The applicant shall obtain a City of Laurel fence permit. The applicant shall obtain a City of Laurel builder permit, and the applicant shall obtain a City of Laurel paving permit. That concludes the reading of the staff report, and the applicant is on the phone for any questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, one of the questions that I had on the carport, the eave of the carport, is that going to be open or enclosed? It shows that it's going to be open.
From the, I believe it would, what you see on that chair is how it's going to be installed.
Okay, thank you. Are there any follow-up questions for this applicant?
I do, thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay.
Who would you like to go, Rob?
Go ahead, Karen, you can go first. And then...
Okay, well, Mr. Chairman, I have not so much questions for the applicant, but some serious concerns about this. I mean, I have spent a lot of time worrying about this application. And I went back to our guidelines to look at it, and I'd like to remind, ourselves that the whole point of our guidelines is, and I'm quoting from 2025 6-5, the relationship of the exterior architectural features to the remainder of the structure and to the surrounding area. On section 2026 of our guidelines, which I believe Monty had actually quoted, there's several things that talk about the visual impact of that we should be considering the visual impact of the proposed structures on the site and the streetscape. And in number B there, accessory structures, which this certainly is, should be in character with other such structures located within the neighborhood. Size is dependent on factors and relative placement on the lot and visibility. And then the building mass, which is 20-26-10, the size and shape and scale of such each structure should be compatible with adjacent structures in the neighborhood, okay? And I point all those out because I took the time, just so you know, to drive the entire historic district in the last couple of days to look at every main street, and then I went down some of the alleys also. And there are, number one, there are no carports on the post office block in question. Moreover, in the Laurel Historic District, I could only identify 4 carports at all, and none, and I repeat, none of these is accessible from the main road. All of them are only accessible from a back alley, and only one is close to the main structure, and that is hidden by shrubbery and a white picket fence, and in fact, that's Councilman Les's carport, which is again also accessible from an alley. So, and most importantly, not one of these has a garage door of any kind. So there actually are no compatible structures because we don't do this in the historic district. And just to let you know, I also took the trouble to drive around Laurel, just over in the Fairlawn section, which has carports because of the housing style and time. And there are no carports there with garage door structures. In fact, in any place I drove, I found 2 carports that had lower level gates on them, and that was it. So I am very, very concerned that this carport is totally out of character with the historic district completely and the streetscape on which it's on. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Ms. Lubinecki. Ms. Frazier, do you have any comments for the applicant?
Yes, I could not tell from the drawing. The application merely says to replace a 4-foot fence with a 6-foot fence. And on the drawing, the fence appears to be completely around the property. I just want to confirm that the front fence will remain the same.
This is Monte Burrows again. That is correct. The front fence will stay the same. This new fence will be projected back 28 feet to a height of 6. So the front fence, which I believe you're speaking of, will be on the right side of the proposed, if you're looking right in front of the house, proposed driveway.
So the fence from the front of the house to the street and across the front and back will all be 4 feet?
For what you see right in front, that white picket fence will stay there.
Okay, what about from the front of the house to the street on both sides?
I'm not understanding your question. You said, now if we looking straight in front of the house, where are you saying again?
Okay, where does the 6-foot fence stop?
The 6-foot fence was where the new proposed drive would be on that side on the left, going all the way back to the rear, and then the rear will be 6 feet too. Everything on your right side will, I believe, will stay the same.
Okay, so now they have 3 different kinds of fence. They have white picket, they have unpainted picket. And on the left side, is that permissible to have a 6-foot fence from the front of the house forward?
Where the thing is, 25 feet in back, you can have up to you can start at 6 feet. Anything from 0 to 25 is 36 inches.
Okay, so from the street back 25 feet will be 4 feet high.
Well, that wasn't the proposal, HDC member. So I'm just going off what she had proposed. She would propose 28 feet back with a 6 foot height on the side and to the rear. She didn't have any proposal for the right side of the house.
Okay, because all the application said was replace the 4 foot fence with a 6 foot fence.
Yes, ma'am. Mm-hmm.
So, but that would not be the whole fence.
Correct. It would just be the proposal. Again, 28 feet back would be 6 feet high, and on the side would be 6 feet high, 28 feet back.
On both sides, okay. And
Yes.
I agree with the chairman that it would look much better if the gable of the above the garage door were solid, so that you don't see the superstructure of the carport.
Okay.
But that's just a comment.
So, Mr. Chairman, this is Margie McSaney. Question for the applicant. Considered a garage instead of a carport. Is the applicant with?
Hello, this is Maria.
Yeah, have you considered garage?
No, no garage.
No garage. Okay, so you're doing something like you have never seen the historic district here, correct?
Yeah, but if it's not approved, it's okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Are there any other comments for the staff or the applicant?
Mr. Chair, I would like to say Ms. Marie has worked very hard to heed to all the recommendations from the HDC members. Since the last meeting, she's worked very diligent to do everything possible to make sure that she goes with the recommendation. So I just want to say that Ms. Marie has worked very hard with staff, and even on taking our recommendation. So I hope that goes into your vote before you vote. Thank you.
Thank you, Monty.
Mr. Chairman,
Go ahead, Mr. Les, Councilman Les.
thank you, Mr. Chairman. A couple of things. As I understand the code, what is a false front, or this where these gates are, these doors to the gates are, that cannot be a structural part of the carport. Is that correct, Christian? There's something in there about it can't be a structural part of it.
That is correct.
It's actually offset from the front of the carport. That's number one. The second thing is the blacktop. They're going to have to get rid of a lot of stone off that property. Okay, when they put this blacktop down, because a lot of stone's been spread up there, and this is non-pervious blacktop. Is that correct? Just want to understand. I mean, there's pervious and there's non-pervious. So this is non-pervious blacktop.
I
Is
believe
our planner on board?
Yes, I believe so, Chair.
Okay, all right. And then, so they've got to remove the stone off a large portion of what's up there. And then they're going to put topsoil in and put greens, some grass, I guess. The fence, see, what's difficult here, I look at one drawing and it shows that 6 foot fence going all the way to the front of the property. That's what the surveyor did. Then I look at the next one, it says it stops at the garage where it should stop because it cannot go to the front of the property. The 6-foot solid vinyl fence. Okay, so up to the front of the house and the false front on this that leads into a carport space will be the 6-foot white vinyl fence as shown. And then from there forward will be the existing picket fence. It'll go to the front of the property, then across the front of the property, and then I assume down the right side of the property. Is that correct? City planner, is that correct?
Yes. Also, Councilman, we got to also remember this. That other fence is shared fence. I believe.
Yeah, I understand.
So
I'm-
okay.
So she's just gonna leave it for now. And, you know, maybe sometime she and her neighbor will come to agreement. Okay. And the roof shingles on the carport they're complementary to what's on the house now. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, good. And we're gonna leave this a post and beam type of carport that she's going to erect here. Will those all be left unfinished, or they're gonna be painted white or something, or they won't be painted?
At this moment, I don't believe they will be painted.
All right, I just want to make sure. So she's gonna, because you can see part of this above that false, what I call the false front. So if she wants to paint it at some point, she'll have to come back to the HDC. All right, and one other thing I was going to ask, and the door will be what's on this. She sent it to us on an iPhone. Essentially, a square door, a rectangular door with an oval top and some black hinges on it. Is that correct?
Correct, sir. Yes.
All right, we're making progress here. If and I had asked last time, and I know that we've sort of done some research. There's no violation because this is a carport. If she should come back in and want to enclose the carport into a garage or change the configuration, then she may have to make a separate application because of the proximity to the house and the side yard. Is that correct?
That's correct. If she meets the ordinance and setbacks, need be, she have to come back.
All right, I think we've answered all the questions. I applaud the applicant for working with our planner to try and resolve these issues. Got a little ways to go here, but we're making progress. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Councilman Les. Only note I see, I think we have a big concern with, is it a carport or is it a garage? Now, the applicant stated it is not a garage and she doesn't intend for it to be a garage. So I understand from the previous meeting about her concern for security, but I don't think that garage doors should go on a carport. I don't know if the applicant is willing to maybe lose the garage doors and maybe replace it with some other type of gate or something in front of it. But that would be a concern I think that the commission has with this project, is trying to determine if it's a garage or a carport.
Mr. Chairman, if I could, that's why I made the point that she can put a false front on that if she wants with these doors, as long as it's not part of the structural part of the carport. When she does that, then that changes the rules. But as I understand it, it's not going to be connected, so she can do this. They're awful fancy doors. The only place I've ever seen this is down in Central America where they do that. But again,
good evening.
I'm sorry, let me finish. So again, as long as it is not connected to the carport, it does not become a structural part of that building. And therefore, they're not garage doors. They're essentially doors through a wall. And that's what she's done here. Now, the only difference is these, I don't know how, let me ask the city planner, how tall are those doors?
Councilman, it'll be 7 by 12.
Okay, so it'd be 7 feet tall. You got another 3 feet above that. So she's still below the roof line on the house. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Christian, would you like to make a comment?
I do. Good evening. This is Director Pulley on the line. I just want to go on the record and state at the last meeting with the whole carport issue, it was recommended that the applicant put doors on. One of the commissioners sent emails suggesting the type of doors she should probably put on with the iron gate. The applicant didn't want to go with the iron gate doors. However, this is what she came with. Like Monte has stated, she has been working very diligently with staff on trying to accomplish this. This is her 3rd or 4th time back to the commission, and we are trying to get a resolution tonight regarding this.
Thank you, Christian, and I appreciate everybody's hard work and diligent, and hopefully we can get this to a happy resolve.
Mr. Chairman.
Comment, go ahead.
Mr. Chairman.
Go ahead.
I'm ready to make a motion, and this is going to be different. Okay, this is, as has been pointed out by Karen, I mean, there's no place else in Laurel where this has been done. And that's why when we did the siding on our house, we could not put a door. We've got a carport on the side of the house. When we looked at the restrictions within the zoning ordinance, that was going to cause some issues. It was going to become a garage then. And we didn't do, we just left it open. So I'm ready to make a motion, and I think that I'll make the observation that this is going to be different. We've got a lot of different things in Laurel, and I'll make a motion that we approve HDC 078-2020 as presented tonight by the city planner.
Okay, I have a motion by Councilman Les. Do I have a second?
Mr. Commissioner, this is Patrick
Rob,
Davis.
you're muted.
I'll second that motion.
Okay. Madam Secretary, I have a motion by Councilman Les and a second by Mr. Davis to approve HDC 078-2020. Can I get a roll call?
Councilmember Les,
Yes.
Mr. Davis,
Yes.
Ms. McSteamy,
No.
Mr. Cocoon,
Yes.
Ms. Lubanecki,
No.
Ms. Frazier,
Yes.
motion carries.
Thank you, and good luck with your project, Ms. Thomas.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Take care.
Bye.
Okay. Agenda number 4, HDC 075-2020, 417 Main Street, submitted by Kay to request to install a new wooden fence around the property. Would the staff like to present their report to the commission?
Yes, good evening, Mr. Chair. This is Joshua Mitchum, Planner 2 for ECD. The applicant is seeking HDC approval to install a 6-foot wooden fence in the side and rear yards of the property that will be visible from Main Street. The fence is proposed to be a colonial Gothic and deluxe dog ear picket style, painted white, and will be comprised of wood material. The proposed fence meets zoning ordinance standards as defined in Unified Land Development Code, Section 20-20.5, which covers fences and walls. The proposed actions requested by the applicant appear to meet the requirements established in Division 14 of the design guidelines for the HDC, and staff recommends that the Historic District Commission approve certificate number 075-2020 That concludes the reading of my report, and the applicant is on the phone to answer any questions. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Stan. I had a few questions on the drawing, where the fence is. Back into the property adjacent to Orchard. Is that what is going to be fenced in up to the apartments?
Hi, Mr. Chairman. Hi, this is Kay. I'm really sorry, but it seems there are too many unmuted mic. I cannot hear you properly.
Okay, can everybody please mute? So my question is, where it's showing on the plat, you have the fence being proposed into the yard area that is adjacent to the apartment building. That's your property there, or is that the Orchard Town Apartments property?
Thank you for your question. Yes, Mr. Chairman, that's part of my property, which is marked Lot 2. So that entire area is part of my property according to the auto survey that was done by a surveyor back in 2019 when I purchased this property.
Okay, and how far would the fence be that is on your property from the apartment building? How many feet? It looks like it's going to be very close.
I'm sorry, could you repeat the question, please?
Okay, so on the north side of your property that is closest to the Orchard Town Apartments, how many feet would the fence be from the apartment building that is currently there?
I believe that when I discussed this initially with the planners, apparently the fence could be installed on the property line. That's my understanding.
Okay.
There are, just if I may, there is a, right in front of the, or outside the apartments, there are some shrubs that are creating some privacy between the that land and the apartments. The shrubs, in terms of the height of the shrubs, they're about 9.5 to 10 feet high. And they are coming actually out. So, but of course, the shrubs meet the property line, my property line. But I haven't been, when we discussed with the planner, there was no discussion in terms of whether there should be any setback. If there were, if I was to build something there, as I understand, there should be a setback. But in terms of installation of fence, there was no discussion about setback.
Mr. Chairman, if I may, this is Joshua Mitchum, planner. So for the applicant, everything that she has requested has been proposed to be on her property. We just wanted her to verify using the plats and her survey information that everything that she proposed would be on her side of the property. The setback that we did impose is that if you can see the blue line, the blue colored line, it is 25 feet back from the front, the property line that denotes the public right of way. So 25 feet back from Main Street before her fence starts. That will be the only setback that we propose for her to note on this application. But as far as the other red lines are concerned, which makes up the bulk of her proposed fence, it's all supposed to be on her property.
Okay, and the city has verified that the survey is accurate and the property line showing where it is on this survey is accurate.
Yes, the applicant, she's showed the documents as prepared by Prince George's County that she received when she, I believe, when she bought the property about a year ago. She can confirm if she would like.
Yes, the survey, the plat has been registered with the PG County at the time of purchase.
Okay, from where it's showing, it looks like there's going to be less than 10 foot from the rear of the building to the fence, or even less. It could be even 5 foot. I don't know. The drawing is not to scale, but it looks like the fence is going to be almost to the back of the apartment buildings, and the back of the apartment buildings looks like they have patios back there or doorways back there. So that was my one concern before she puts this fence up, that it is actually her property, because it looks like the people in the apartments were using the property, are using the property at this point. Not that that makes it right or not, but I just, before we approve this, I would like to make sure that there's not going to be an issue down the road where the fence is going to go.
Mr. Chairman, this is Director Pulley. May I step in, please? So this application was approved by the Planning Commission last week for amended site and landscape plan approval to install the fence. However, for the HDC, you guys, of course, have to approve the aesthetics. And our city attorney was on the phone last time, and any issues that may arise with the apartment complex and the owner of the property will become a civil matter, and staff has indeed, the fence would be placed on her property. So just to give a little background there.
Great, that's good knowledge to have. Thank you, Director Pulley. Are there any other comments for the staff or the applicant?
Mr. Chairman, this is Mike Les. The issue about where this property line is came up before the apartments were built. Because, Christian, this is a commercial piece of property on the front, correct? The subject property.
That is correct. That's why I had to go to the Planning Commission.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, I was on the Planning Commission at the time when this came up. But there was a push that they didn't want this building torn down. This is an old building. So I don't have any of that stuff anymore that I kept from the Planning Commission. And Sue Pope probably had it, but she's not with us anymore. But again, the issue about this being close to the apartments, if I remember correctly, when the apartments came in, they wanted to build up as close to the property line as they could to get the maximum number of units. Okay, and then now it's come back to where this property owner wants to put up a fence, and they'll discuss the resolution of that. That's not us to get involved. It's a civil matter. But this all came up, I don't know, 30 years ago when they originally subdivided the property, before anything was down there. Now, let me just mention one other thing. That's just one observation. If they're going to paint this fence white, we need to probably, I don't know what, if I look at the picture, it looks like it's actually redwood. Is that correct? Is this is this redwood fence?
Currently, there is no paint, there is no fence there, but I'm planning to have wooden fence installed and then paint in white color.
Yeah, okay. So what I'm suggesting, Mr. Chairman, is we give the applicant permission to erect the fence, but then she's going to have to wait, 6 to 9 months or a year before she can paint it. If she does, the paint will just peel off, and you can't get that asphalt paint anymore. Okay, so that's just a suggestion. And where you have the, okay, that's all I have, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Les. Any further comments from any commissioners or the applicant or staff?
This is Margie McSaney. I move we approve HDC 075-2020 for 417 Main Street.
I second.
Okay. Madam Secretary,
Seconding.
I have a motion by Ms. McSaney and a second by Ms. Lubinecki to approve HDC 075-2020. Can you please call the roll?
Ms. McSaney,
Yes.
Ms. Lubinecki,
Yes.
Councilmember Les,
Yes.
Ms. Frazier,
Yes.
Mr. Cocoon,
Yes.
Mr. Cocoon,
I apologize. Yes.
Mr. Davis,
Yes.
motion carries.
Okay. Good luck with your fence project.
Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you so much for all your time.
Agenda number 5, HDC 084-2020 for 319 Main Street, submitted by Gary Brent. Request to install signs, 7 recovering of existing awnings, and 3 of the awnings will include signs. Would the staff like to present?
Good evening, Mr. Chair and fellow HDC members. I'm Monta Burrows, planner.
I'm sorry, once again, I'm sorry, this is Robert Love. Could everybody please mute their mic? I can barely hear Mr. Burrows. Thank you.
Good evening, Mr. Chair and fellow HDC members. My name is Monta Burrows, and I'm planner 2. The applicant is seeking HDC approval to replace 13 existing awnings and install 5 new awning signs. The awnings are in the front, side, and rear of the building. All the new awning fabric color will be black sunbrella. The front of the building has 6 awnings. The left side of the building has 6 awnings and 1 awning in the rear. 5 of the awnings will have signage. The awning signs will read Sandy Spring Bank with the bank logo on the left. The lettering on the awning sign is white and the logo is in gold, white, and gray. The dimensions of the awning with signage is 4 feet by 10 feet or 40 square feet. The dimensions of the signage will be 8 feet, 6 3/4 inches by 17.5 inches or 12.4 square feet. The 1 awning in the rear will have the same signage as the front and side. The awning sign will read Sandy Spring Bank with the bank logo on the left. Again, the lettering on the awning sign will be white, the logo in gold, white, and in gray. The dimensions of the 4 remaining awnings in the front of the building that would be only recovered are 4 feet by 5 and 4 inches or 21 square feet. Per the ordinance, the applicant must maintain a 8-foot clearance from the sidewalk to the bottom of the awnings. The applicant is also asking for wall sign approval to install 2 rooftop wall signs. The wall signs will be located along the front, which is the west elevation, the right side, which is the east elevation of the building. The wall signs will read Sandy Spring Bank with the bank logo on the left. The lettering of the wall signs in white, the logo in gold, white, and gray. The dimensions of the wall sign, 2 feet by 11 and 7 3/4 inches or 23 square feet. Staff recommends HDC Commission approval with the following conditions. Applicant shall obtain City of Laurel sign permit. Per the ordinance, the applicant must obtain an 8-foot clearance from the sidewalk to the bottom of the awning. That concludes the reading of the staff report, and the applicant is on the phone for any questions. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Monta. Any questions for the staff or the applicant from any of the commissioners?
It's Margie McSaney. The only question I have is the bank taking over the first floor of the building? It's not really pertinent to our, well, I was just curious since they're replacing all the awnings.
Rob, do you want to answer that? This is Tom Gamel from Sandy Spring Bank. Yes, in fact, that is the case.
Thank you. That's all. I guess then I'll move we approve HDC 084-2020 for 319 Main Street.
Okay, I have a motion from Ms. McSaney. Do I have a second from any of the commissioners or any other question follow-up?
Mr. Chairman, this is Patrick Davis. I will second.
Okay, Madam Secretary, I have a motion from Ms. McSaney and a second Davis to approve HDC 084-2020. Can you please call the roll?
Ms. McKinney,
Yes.
Mr. Davis,
Yes.
Councilmember Les,
Yes.
Mr. Cocoon,
Yes.
Ms. Lubinecki,
Yes.
Ms. Frazier,
Yes.
motion carries.
Thank you, and welcome to the neighborhood.
Thank you. You guys have a great evening.
You as well. Thank you. Agenda item number 6 for HDC 087-2020 for 317 4th Street, submitted by Matt Overak to request the replacement of the front walkway from concrete to stone. Would staff like to present their report to the commission?
Yes, good evening again, Mr. Chair. This is Joshua Mitchum, planner for ECD. The applicant is seeking HDC approval to replace the walkway in front of the property located at 317 4th Street. The existing walkway is comprised of concrete materials and will be replaced with stone materials. The applicant intends to use paver stepping stones in various shades of the color gray. And the applicant has also attached the photo of an existing walkway located at 324 Montgomery Street, which is an historic property in Laurel, that is in the same style that they wish to emulate for their proposal. An increase or decrease in overall walkway size is not proposed at this time. Staff recommends that the HDC approve certificate number 087-2020. That concludes the reading of my report, and I believe the applicant is on the call to take any questions that you may have. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
I am here. Thank you, folks.
Thank you, Josh. Any questions or comments for the staff or the applicant? So I have a motion for this agenda.
Mr. Chairman, it's Margie Me. I move we approve HDC 087-2020 for 317 4th Street.
This is Karen Lubinecki. I second.
Okay, I have a motion by Ms. McKinney and a second by Ms. Lubinecki to approve HDC 087-2020. Can you please call the roll?
Ms. McKinney, Ms. Lubinecki,
Yes.
Councilmember Les,
Yes.
Mr. Cocoon,
Yes.
Ms. Frazier,
Yes.
Mr. Davis,
Yes.
motion carries.
Thank you.
Okay, this is Matt Osveric, the property owner. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good luck, and looks nice.
Thank you.
Moving on to agenda number 7, HDC 088-2020 for 912 Montgomery Street, submitted by Jan Helling on behalf of the owner, Anna Allen. request to install a new ply gem black raised panel shutters to the front and side of the exterior windows. Would the staff like to present their report to the commission?
Good evening again, Mr. Chair and fellow members. I'm Monte Burrows, Planner 2. The applicant is seeking HDC Commission approval to make facade changes. The applicant requests to install ply gem black raised panel window shutters around the front and side. The applicant would like to install shutters around 9 windows. The shutters will replace around 8 windows on the second level and 1 window on the first level. There will be 18 shutters installed. Staff recommends that the HDC approve. That concludes the reading of the staff report. And also I have to say, Mr. Chair, that it was a question that came about during the week about the size of the shutters, the width of the shutters. The applicant is well knowledgeable of the ordinance, what size and height the shutter needs to be. And also, if you look at the pictures of the building, there's building how the window placement of the windows. Some of the shutters may not be able to be a half of the window size. So the applicant is very knowledgeable of that. And that concludes the reading of my staff report. And also the applicant is on the phone for any questions. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Monte. Any questions for the staff or the applicant from commissioners?
Yes, this is Karen Lubanecki. I'm looking at the pictures and I'm curious to which windows did they think would not be able to meet the requirement that the shutters be the full half width of the window. The ordinance is that the shutters have to be half the width of the window, so that it looked like they were going to be closed, it would cover the whole window. Likewise, the height, they have to cover the whole height. So my question is, which window did they think was not going to meet that criteria?
Yes, HGC Mayor, if you look at the front on the left side, those 3 windows in the rear where the HDC unit is, that will be very difficult to have that half width shutter size.
Are we talking about the far rear on the front left? In the
Yes,
photo, we have four photos up here, and we're talking about the lower level.
No, the lower level applicant will not be doing. We'll be only doing from the west side view, which is a resident that lives on that side. She will be able to only to do one of the windows.
So is she still planning? Are we talking? There's what looks there like a double window, and then a single window, and then a single window. Correct?
Yes, correct.
So is it the double window she's not going to put the shutters on, or only one shutter, or which seems a little strange, or which one of those? I'm sorry.
I'm looking, Chair Member, I'm looking west side view, and
I'm
at
looking at the front, and there's 3. It's the front top left in the image that's on our screens.
Okay.
Is that the one we're talking?
She'll be able to do the one window closest to us.
Yes.
And the 3 at the rear, she will not be able to meet the width because of how the window placements are. Because if you look at the ridge of the roof, it impedes to the wall next to her window.
I mean, it also looks like she's got like major electrical or something going in right there. That's correct?
Correct. That's why she's trying, just to do the top. And the ones at the bottom would be very difficult also. So she's doing the 9 windows up top, the second level, and the one at the bottom level where residents live.
I mean, the applicant obviously, to a certain extent, can do what she wants, but honestly, given the symmetry that she has faced with, she might be better just to do shutters on the top, on the front of the second floor, because the second floor on the left there has so many impediments to shutters at all that they might actually detract from the look of the side. I mean, that's what saves the money, actually. And certainly on the left side there, not to put any at all, because the configuration of the windows is like, it's like 2 or 3, and then one that has the electrical, and then one that kind of sits by itself. I mean, even maybe only do the first one if she really wants to do on the second floor there.
This is Margie. I agree with that.
That sounds, I don't know if you can hear me. This is Dan Helling. I submitted the application. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Go ahead.
Okay. So in looking at the pictures, the whole idea was to create some sort of depth, give the structure a little bit more character. And based on the width of the shutters, there's only one window on the first floor that we think would even be able to be shuttered. And it's the picture is listed as front. It's the picture on the right side. The other pictures, the other windows, yes, I think everything only on the top could be shuttered on the front and the west side of the structure. On the east side of the structure, it looks like only one window would be able to be shuttered, and you're right, I see how that might detract from the overall look of the property, and maybe nothing should be done on that side. Is that what you intended? Did I understand that correctly?
Well, this is Ms. Lubinecki again. I think on the second floor particularly, you could do one window maybe, but certainly not the second two, even attempt to, because it's just the way the configuration is, and your electrical is going to make it impossible. And
right.
I don't have a strong feeling on whether you do one window or no windows on the second floor myself. I mean, I'm actually just trying to suggest a different, slightly aesthetic, which would actually save you a little money. So.
Mm-hmm. So nothing on that entire side would be your suggestion?
That's my suggestion, but I'm happy to hear from other commissioners on that.
I'd like to make a comment. This is Marlene Frazier. The windows on the bottom are wider than windows on the top. And when they put the shutters on, they'll sort of almost match that width. And I'd like to see that happen also on the first window on the east side, so that it will look the same as the front windows. See what I'm saying? You have
I'm not following that.
On the first floor, and you have the narrow window on the second floor, but it will look very different when you put the shutters on the narrow windows on the second floor on the front.
I see what Ms.
You're talking about the 3 windows on the street side?
The 3 windows
on the second level
will get shutters, yes?
Yes, yes.
But the one window on the east side that's above the triple window on the ground floor, I think would look best with shutters because it'll repeat that same pattern.
It would be. You said yes, that would be better?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, yes, I agree.
So your recommendation, just to clarify for everybody, instead of the 9 windows that the applicant's proposing, you just want to put the shutters on the 8 windows, the 4 on the west side, the 3 windows on the second level on the north side, and the 1 window closest to the street on the east side.
Yes.
Okay, any further comments for the applicant or staff?
And then nothing on the first floor, correct?
One on the first floor on the west side.
Do you recommend that one as well?
I just wondering if that's what Ms. Frazier and Ms. Lubinecki were talking about.
I think this is Ms. Lubinecki. I think our main concern, and I agree with Ms. Frazier's comment about the window with the 3 panes on the first floor on the front left side working with it. And frankly, on the bottom front, I'm looking at our pictures now, next to the door, I think the applicant also had proposed a shutter, set of 2 shutters there. And I personally don't have a strong feeling about that. If she would like to put a shutter there, I think it would be fine. Shutters there. If not, and perhaps we could leave that to her discretion.
Are you talking about, did you see that white door on the front?
Correct.
There's a group of, there's basically one contiguous window with 3 window panes on either side of the door.
Oh, I'm talking about the other
about
side. I'm talking about the other side. The photo that we're looking at that has a car parked in front of the structure, okay? And then there's a door. And then were you proposing shutters on that window immediately to the right of that door?
Yes.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's the 8, I think, right? Mr.
That
Chairman?
would make it 8.
Right, instead of 9, basically.
Right.
Somehow I
That's-
think at this point, I think at this point we're in violent agreement on what we think we're talking about here. So, Mr.
Okay.
Chairman, can I
This
make
is
a motion?
Chairman Clocoon. Go ahead, Ms. Lubinecki.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve HDC 078-2020 for 912 Montgomery Street as discussed, where there would be 8 instead of 9 shutters, sets of shutters, meeting the criteria of the half and the proper sizes.
I'll second.
Okay, Madam Secretary, I have a from Ms. Lubinecki and a second by Councilman Les to approve HDC 088-2020. Please call the roll.
Ms. Lubinecki,
Yes?
Councilmember Les,
Yes.
Ms. McStaney,
Yes.
Mr. Cocoon,
Yes.
Ms. Frazier,
Yes,
Mr. Davis,
Yes.
motion carries.
Thank you, everybody.
and good luck with your shutter project.
Thank you so much.
Moving on to agenda item number 8 for HDC 086-2020 for 411 Laurel Avenue, submitted by Joseph and Carrie Williams. They're requesting the replacement of the aluminum siding to vinyl and the roof from green to gray, and they're going to replace the gutters in kind white. Would staff like to present the report to the commission?
Yes, good evening, Mr. Chair. This is Joshua Mitchum, planner for ECD. The applicant is seeking Historic District Commission approval for exterior renovations, which include the replacement of the siding, the roof, and the gutters of the property located at 411 Laurel Avenue. The current aluminum siding is a white color, and the applicant proposes to replace it with an off-white vinyl material in Dutch lap style. The current roof is 3-tab styled in green color, and the applicant proposes to replace it with a similar architectural style in gray color. The applicant also proposes to replace the existing gutters with an in-kind replacement of the exact same color. The applicant proposal appears to meet the design criteria outlined in design guidelines of the City of Laurel Historic District Commission, Division 14. Staff recommends that the HDC approve certificate number 086-2020. The applicant is available for questions, and that concludes the reading of my report, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, Josh. I just have a question. This Chairman Clocoon, with regards to the eave of the house, are you going to wrap that in aluminum, or are you going to keep the wood finish on that and scrape and paint that as well? I noticed most of the neighbors have their eaves wrapped in it.
Yes, we were planning on having it wrapped.
Okay, thank you. Any further comments for the applicant or the staff from any of the commissioners?
I just have a,
Sorry. This is Marlene Freight. I have a question about the shutters. Are they planning to replace them or paint them or?
Yes, we were planning on replacing them.
Do you have,
If that's what the city requests.
do you have a color for that?
I know, because we were hoping not to have to replace them, but if we do, it'll probably match the roof, the exit. You want to do green? Yeah, we probably do. Yeah, we do the green existing. What it looks like now would just be replaced with it. Want to do them in black? Could we do them in black?
Sure. Or
That would
charcoal.
be, yeah, charcoal. That would be preferable. Yeah, something like that to match the roof.
Are the shutters now wood shutters or are they some other material?
They're a different material, like almost like a plastic.
Okay, so are you going to replace the shutters or are you going to paint the shutters?
Replacing them.
Okay, and your proposed color is black to replace them with a black shutter?
Yes. Or a slate, whichever.
Got you.
There's the problem, but you would prefer the black.
Would it be the louvered style that they are now?
Yes.
This is Margie McSeany. I move roof HDC 078-2020 for 411 Laurel Avenue, with the addition of replacing the shutters, same
I still have a
style. I'm sorry.
Margie, let me just stop you for a moment. I think Ms. Lubinecki has a question for
I'm
that.
sorry.
Yeah, I had a question for the applicant, and this is more like a comment. Since I understand you're removing aluminum and going to replace it with vinyl. Are you aware that you can get money back? I mean, or at least a discount from whoever is doing your work because they have aluminum that they can recycle. So that might save you. We had that done on our house like 30 years ago.
We're aware.
It was a significant. Okay.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Thank you so much. We are aware of that.
Okay, I apologize. Margie, would you like to continue with your motion?
Sure. If we approve HDC 086-2020, 411 Laurel Avenue, with the addition of replacing the shutters in the style in black.
This is Karen Lubinek, yes.
This is Marlene Frazier.
Go ahead, Mark.
Good evening. Can we get a clarification? Who seconded that motion, please?
This is Karen. I did originally, but Marlene, if you want to second it, that's fine.
That's okay. Something happened with the sound. Okay. Go ahead.
Karen Lubinecki, I second the motion.
Wonderful.
Okay, Madam Secretary, we have a motion from Ms. McSeany and a second from Ms. Lubinecki to approve HDC 086-2020. Can you please call the roll?
Ms. McSeany?
Yes.
Ms. Lubinecki?
Yes.
Councilmember Les?
Yes.
Mr. Cocoon?
Yes.
Ms. Frazier?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, Mr. Williams, have a good evening. Agenda item number 9 for HDC 093-2020 for 205 10th Street, submitted by Matt O'Brien to replace the white picket fence from wood to vinyl. New fencing style will have arches. The fence will be 3.5 foot tall. Would the staff like to present the report to the commissioners?
Yes, good evening, Mr. Chair. This is Joshua Mitchum, planner for ECD. The applicant is seeking HDC approval to replace an existing wood picket fence in the front, left, and right side yards of the property with a vinyl picket fence located at the property 205 10th Street. The existing wood fence is noted by the applicant to be showing signs of wear and insect infestation, and the applicant proposes to replace it with a picket style fence with arches made from vinyl materials of the same color, which is white, and the same height, which is 3.5 feet. The applicant's proposal appears to meet the design criteria outlined in the design guidelines of the City of Laurel Historic District Commission, Division 14, as well as the fence guidelines as mandated by the Unified Land Division Code. Staff recommends that the Historic District Commission approve certificate number 093-2020 with the condition that they also obtain a City of Laurel fence permit. I believe Mr. O'Brien is on the line to take calls if needed, and that concludes the report, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, Josh. One question for, I don't know, staff or Mr. O'Brien. The existing fence panels, it was put up in sections, and the top edge of the fence are not in any line. They have different elevations. And my question would be, the new fencing, is the top elevation of the fence going to be consistent all the way around the property?
Hi, this is Matt O'Brien. Yes, we would have the height consistent around the entire front yard.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions for the applicant or the staff? I have a motion for this agenda.
Mr. President, I make a move that we approve the application 093-2020.
Thank you, Councilman Les. Do I have a second?
Mr. Chairman, this is Patrick Davis. I will second.
Okay, Madam Chair, I have a motion from Councilman Les and a second from Mr. Davis that we approve HDC 093-2020. Can you please call the roll?
Councilmember Les,
Yes.
Mr. Davis,
Yes.
Ms. McSeany,
Yes.
Mr. Cocoon,
Yes.
Ms. Lubinecki,
Yes.
Ms. Frazier,
Yes.
motion carries.
Okay, thank you, Mr. O'Brien. Have a good evening and good luck with your project.
You too. Thank you very much.
Okay, moving on to the next agenda item is for a tax credit for 332 Montgomery Street, submitted by Frazier. Ms. Frazier, you want to recluse yourself from?
I would like to recuse myself from this.
Thank you. Any comments about this tax credit?
This is Margie McSeany. I move with the tax credit request 332 Montgomery Street.
This is Ms. Lubinecki. I second that.
Secretary, I have a motion from Ms. McSeany and a second from Ms. Lubinecki for the tax credit to approve it. Can you please call the roll?
Ms. McSeany,
Yes.
Ms. Lubinecki,
Yes.
Councilmember Les,
Yes.
Mr. Cocoon,
Yes.
Mr. Davis,
Yes.
motion carries.
Thank you. Okay, moving on to staff approvals. I guess we can lump them together unless there's any great concern about any of them. Are there any questions from the commission about any of the staff approvals? Seeing that there's no questions or comments,
Marty McSaney, I'd like to mention that we adjourn.
thank you, Ms.
Am I
McPhee. Motion to adjourn. Good night, everybody. Thank you.
Right.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye, good night.
Bye-bye. Have a great evening.
Good night. Thank you all.